Greetings, Force fans. We are back for another fun, exciting edition of building a custom Mandalorian. So this is from my buddy Brandon. Excuse me while I get this camera a little bit ready. So I can point down. This is from my buddy Brandon, and we're getting very close to paint on many of the pieces. Many of the pieces. So so this is ready. And when I say close to paint, I mean I've been painting it with filler primer, but it's close to be ready for the final paint. And when I get to this point, I will basically sand this down with 400, get it nice and smooth, maybe then go up to an 800 and do a little wet sand, or 1000, do a little wet sand, just to get it nice and shiny looking. Then we put the paint on. So this one's ready. This gauntlet is ready to go. The West Star Blaster is ready. And then these pieces all need just a little bit of work. Hold on. These are also, I think, ready. Hand plates are ready, and the shoulder plates. These are all these pieces are ready to go now. And then we got a little bit of work left to do on these. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but there are still some lines in here and over here that I'm going to take care of. So I'm going to use a little bit of Bondo on these, and then the top part of this, a little Bondo slurry. And then this one here, same thing. It's like up here on the top. You can see those. So layer lines right in there. This is just going to be some Bondo slurry on this. And then for these, same kind of thing. I just need to coat the whole thing with slurry, and we'll see what happens from there on both the thighs. That's it. Oh, on the helmet, just needs some detail sanding, but the helmet is really pretty much ready to go. Brandon is sending me, so he's going to order a Hobart face shield for me to add into this. But I just need some detail sanding kind of around the earpieces here, just to smooth that out a little bit. But should need no more Bondo on this. This one looks like it's pretty much ready to go. So yeah, it's the exciting time. The paint part is the most fun portion of a build for me, so it's exciting to get that going, get going on that. So now we're going to do some Bondo and then some Bondo slurry on these pieces to get them extremely ready. Just kind of having to look with the light to see where these pieces need this. It's not a lot. Just like that, that's ready. Now we're gonna make us some slurry. All right, so to make any kind of slurry for this, I'll use two different types. I'll use a Bondo slurry and an acetone slurry, or Bondo slurry and an ABS slurry. The ABS is when I'm doing my clone troopers. You cut up pieces of the plastic that you're building it with, and then you mix it with acetone, and it creates a kind of paste putty that you can then used to both glue the armor together and also fill the seams in the armor. And it's like uses science and shit to meld that all together. And yeah, it works very well. So you can also mix it with Bondo, and it thins out the Bondo and enables you to get it over the whole piece with a paintbrush very simply. You're not having to screw the whole thing in. So that's what we're doing here. Take some Bondo. A little acetone. And we just mix it up. And it really is just making like a liquidy acetone. And I'm just wanting to paint this over the entire piece. It's a really easy way to cover a piece with Bondo and save you a whole lot of time. And it's a whole lot easier to sand, of course, too, because it's a lot thinner. But it will fill up all those minuscule little layer lines very nicely. And you got like seams like this one here. It's a really easy way to get in there also with the Bondo. So if you got any questions about what I'm doing, y'all, please just let me know. Happy to answer them. I am a prop maker just for fun. A fun little thing for me. I'm building this for a friend of mine. Oh, I say for fun, but I also do commissions. So anybody who's ever interested in a commission piece of armor, check my link tree out. It's in my description, and I've got a commission request in there. And there you go. You let that dry, and then you come back and sand that. And that should take care of those last little layer lines that we had. Here, it's kind of up in here, but we might as well paint the majority of this. go on that. A little more slurry. And again, all I'm doing is taking Bondo and mixing it with acetone. Doesn't matter if it really goes on even or not. I'm just filling some very minuscule lines here. As long as it coats it, it should be fine. And I'll come through and sand it after. And one more coat of filler primer, we should be good. That one is ready. This is a Bondo slurry that I made with acetone. I'm using to really just fill some very fine lines. The last of the prep for a Mandalorian armor that I'm doing custom commission. I kind of show you guys the color that we're going to be going with for this. It's for a friend of mine, Brandon. He's one of my brothers in the 501st. He's wanting to go Mandalorian mercs with this one. And this stuff really does work wonders for quick coverage of items, like items that have small little pieces, parts, you know, if you're doing a blaster and it's got little ridges and notches and other shit like that in it. This is the way to cover those because it will get into everything very, very simply. A little bit more again. done. You can see this slurry is very, very thin, but I only have tiny lines that I'm filling here, so it doesn't really matter how thick it is. That one's done. All right, last piece for slurry. Almost pour this stuff just over it. And like ABS slurry, you can make this stuff thicker or thinner just by adding more Bondo or adding more acetone, depending on what you want. Let's try this. Pour it on there. Just a little more. All I'm doing is I'm mixing Bondo with acetone. Oh, that was Bondo. Bondo and acetone to make a slurry. I'd probably finished, 20 props before I learned about this technique. And there's lots of different techniques for finishing. Some people will use a UV resin. Some people just do filler primer. Some people just do a regular Bondo and they don't slurry it. There's no right way or wrong way. They're all just ways. We're all just prop makers. And nobody's technique is necessarily better than anybody else's. And you end up with that. this one. Just because it can't hurt. It was pretty much ready, but I got a little bit of slurry left. There's nowhere on the helmet that needs it. I don't think there are, but must be just a little bit up here. So we're gonna do the face of the helmet because we're gonna have to sand it down anyway. Always got to get the eye hole. I think the bottom is surprisingly good, but a little bit of this just because we got it. There you go. And just like that. So that we let dry. And then we'll come back and sand it down. The other pieces we're going to sand with a nice 400 grit. And then go up to a wet sanding on some, like the helmet and the chest, and some of those we'll probably go up to an 800 or 1000 and do a little wet sanding just to make it really, really smooth. And then we're gonna be ready for paint. So the paint scheme is gonna be, so he wants this, where's the purple? This purple. And it's gonna be a gold with it. So I took the purple and did a test, but then I added some graphite powder to it, which gives it a cool little kind of graphite shimmer in with the purple. I mean, it's obviously purple, but it's kind of purple Beskar. So I think this is what I'm gonna go with. It just looks so much better, in my opinion, than just the straight up purple. But that with the gold is kind of what we're looking at for the color scheme. I think it'll be looking good. But yeah, get this done. Next step's gonna be painting. And painting is the fun part, so. Stay tuned for more though. Hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did, give me a like. I always appreciate that. Give me a follow if you want to. You'll probably like the rest of my stuff. As always, I'm Darth Rage. This is Darth Rage Reviews, your source